So something else I was thinking about the other day. I recently finished writing and mixing and mastering a song for another YouTube channel that I've worked with before. I finished up the song, sent it over to them, and did all this stuff. And I had worked with them before on a different song, so this is the second one. And they're gonna put a video together and all that fun stuff. But I was thinking about something interesting that I've written quite a few songs. Something I found interesting was when I worked with this client, I'd worked with them before. Basically, they already the second time around, they already knew what to hand me, and asked them, okay, can you give me a reference? I just want to know what kind of sound you're going for, what kind of feel you're going for, and they gave me some explanation. The other thing they did was, so they sent me the lyrics to the song, as well as an audio recording of them singing it and just hearing a melody. Normally when I write a song, I personally will write chords first. I write a bunch of chords and I go like, here's the chord progression I want to do, and then kind of go from there. And the melody is actually, in those cases, when I write a melody, the melody is dictated by the chord progression that I write. But what I found interesting about writing this song, it was the other way around, where the chord progression was actually dictated by the melody. So much so that by the end of the song, by the end of writing the song, I actually was having this moment of like, I'm not sure what key I'm playing in right now. It was interesting, to say the least, how different the writing process is for those two types of writing, right? I thought it was interesting how different my writing style was. The fact that a melody was first presented to me and then I wrote a chord progression around that, as opposed to the other way around. It made it more interesting too. I kind of liked almost the challenge of, instead of starting from absolutely nothing, right? Like when you're making your own music, you start from nothing. When I write my own music, I'm starting from zero. But in this case, I was given melody, just a general like kind of guideline as to what to use instrumentation wise and what feel to go for. I guess the only other difference sometimes I give myself personally when I'm writing like my own stuff, I try to give myself a concept or something, an idea. Right now I'm finishing up an album, and the entire album has to do with one similar concept, and then just kind of breaking down small ideas within that broader concept with each individual song. So when writing the music, I was definitely just always had that concept in mind, and I would sit here and just read about said concept. I keep tab open on my computer always, just like so I can reference it as much as I could whenever I could. The album I'm working on is genre-wise, it's just mainly a rock metal album. So that was the other kind of like constraint I gave myself, is just don't go crazy, because this is my second album I'm working on. The first album I worked on, it's called The Journey. You can find it on a YouTube channel. You can find it on my Bandcamp. And in The Journey, I was trying to just tell a story. And with that, I didn't give myself any restrictions music-wise. I was like, just make songs, make some music, go crazy, do some wild stuff. And with it, it still led to an interesting album. I did some fun stuff with it. Out of the whole thing, to be honest, there's only like 2 or 3 songs that are like rock songs. And the rest of them are, range anywhere from like an electronic song to like an EDM song, some world music stuff. I was just ranging it all over the place. I just wanted to try a bunch of new different things and try my hand at different ideas and stuff. With this next album, I was like, no, just don't go too crazy and trying to make like an EDM song, or like I've created now. I'm actually in the works of finishing it up, and then I'll be creating kind of some videos for it. I'm have an idea of how I want to both release the album as well as how I want the videos to look, or what I'm trying to achieve with them. So I'm excited to release it too. This is actually an album that's been quite a while in the making. Basically, I didn't work on it for several years. It was something that kind of sat in the back, and I had a couple songs. I mean, some of the songs on the album I wrote back in 2017 or 2018. And it wasn't until last year in 2020 that I really sat down and was like, let me finally finish this freaking album. Because of that, it's kind of led to some of the ideas that I've had. It led to both ideas for lyrics and ideas for music that I probably wouldn't have come up with several years ago in 2018, 2019, or hell, even 2017. I think I might even start in 2017. And it's also led to ideas of how I'm going to release the stuff that I wouldn't have come up with then because I didn't know those were options on how to release it. Dude, what? What is this? This is terrifying. It's like terrifying, but like a little adorable. Like the art style makes it look kind of cute. Like I kind of always be like, oh, I'm sorry, bud. Here, do you want like some jerky or something? Here, give me a little snack. Give me a little cracker or something. He's a little snack.